Hey everybody, Keith Dotson here with an exciting new photography paper to tell you about. First, I'm going to tell you up front, I love this paper. It's pretty new. I think it's been on the market less than a year, and it's Arches 88 made by Canson Infinity. Now, I may seem like a salesman in this video, but it's not a sponsored video in any way. I genuinely love this paper. Also, I know some of you would love to see color prints on this paper, but I'm a specialist, so it's only black and white here. Sorry about that, but I hope you'll still find this useful. Here's one downside for me to this paper. I need a paper that I can print myself, of course, but I often send large and very large prints out to print vendors. I need a paper that's used by my favorite suppliers as well, and so far, the Arches 88 isn't in widespread use by pro labs here in the United States. Canson Infinity does offer a global listing on their website for certified Canson labs. I'll include a link for that in the description. In the US, only Vegas Photo Printing definitely carries Arches 88. I looked at some of the other Canson certified American labs and I couldn't verify this particular paper with them, although they did obviously have other Canson papers. As you can see, it's bright white with no OBAs. That's a big deal, and I'm not sure what magic they had to use to make that happen. But it's smooth on the printable side and textured on the back. And I'll admit right out of the box, I wasn't too impressed by the look and feel of this paper. Before photography, I used Arches papers for fine arts, drawing, and watercolors and painting, and I expected this Arches 88 to be more like Arches hot pressed watercolor paper, which is heavy and very smooth. But I got over that initial disappointment when I started making prints. In this video, I'll show you some test prints on the Arches 88, and I'll compare it to some other popular matte surface papers. Obviously, Arches 88 is a matte surface paper, and it's made of 100% cotton. I printed it on my Epson printer using the Velvet Fine Art Paper media setting, which is recommended by Canson, and using matte black ink. And I printed all of these with the rendering intent set to perceptual. If you've ever watched any of my photo paper comparison videos, you'll know I print almost exclusively on Hahnemühle Fine Art Baryta, or lately I've been using Photo Rag Baryta, which is very similar. Those are coated papers, and I use them as my baseline because I trust them so much. Now, the first test print is from this new photograph I recently made of an abandoned brewery circa 1891 that I found in Wheeling, West Virginia. I thought all those ornate details would give this paper a good workout. Remember when looking at these that I shot this video with an iPhone and they tend to adjust color and exposure on the fly. I try to make it as accurate as possible, but don't take it as gospel. Having said that, wow, I think this paper is spectacular. For a matte paper, it holds tones and details incredibly well. To my eye, it prints neutral to maybe slightly cool, but it's quite pleasing, and my first impression is extremely positive. Now for the comparison to my baseline. This is the Hahnemühle Photo Rag Baryta. This is ever so slightly warmer because the paper isn't quite as white as the Arches 88. Now the Photo Rag Baryta and the Arches 88 side by side. That's the Hahnemühle Photo Rag Baryta on top. Arches 88 on bottom. My next test print is this medium format film scan of a moody landscape. This held those midtones and soft details so well for a matte paper. Another side by side, again the Hanamulla Photorag Bright on top and the Arches 88 on bottom. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the Arches 88 looks as good or maybe even better than the Barita. That's my opinion, of course. Your taste may vary, but there's no question the Arches is a superior performer. Let's compare the Arches 88 to some other popular matte surface papers. Here's the Arches 88 printed with a photograph I use on all my photo comparison videos. These two old junked pickup trucks. Now here are all the matte surface papers side by side, starting with the Arches 88 on the left. Then the vellum, edition etching, printmaking rag, William Turner by Hanamulla, and the Hanamulla Naturals bamboo. I'll close out the video with one more print from my wheeling portfolio. I selected this image because it has so many textures and details. Look how well the Arches 88 holds the sharpness and the contrast. I have to tell you, this is my new favorite matte surface paper. It's just spectacular in my opinion. Well, I hope this video is useful. Thanks for watching. Be sure to visit my website at keithdotson.com.